Concentrate power. You're in the dog zone for an hour. Come on. You know the number. 1-900 hot dog. 1-900 hot dog. 1-900 hot dog. Yeah, 9,000.
Welcome to the Dog Zone 9000, the official podcast of 1-900hotdog.com. We're winging it today, which means, Brockway, you are a full number one top hunk of the country. I did not prepare a joke.
Oh my God.
Congratulations.
Oh my God, this is all it took? All it took was sabotaging the podcast? Oh my God, I could have done this years ago. I'd like to thank God, but I'm not going to. He had nothing to do with this. It was all me. I'm the number one hunk. It's all going straight to my head.
Absolutely. Once again, in your face, God. Go to our Patreon, patreon.com/1900hotdog to laugh in the face of Christ. I'm Sean Baby, and here's a Sean Baby fact. 2 weeks ago, during a mysterious power outage, I woke up in a universe where they didn't have a Tone Loc, and I quickly became the most popular musician in the world. Yes, follow-up questions. In fact, I insist on follow-up questions.
Did you do the voice?
I did do the voice. I think it's okay because it was so strange, but everything else was the same, except I did also invent pizza. They did not have pizza. In fact, the reason I came back is something went wrong. Maybe the reason they didn't have pizza in the universe is once I did that, their universe, the atoms in their universe, started becoming pizza. No more follow-up questions. Our guest this week is our dear friend Dirk Marshall. He's a hot sauce man and a movie man. Welcome back, pal.
Oh, thank you so much. It feels great to be back and celebrating one of the greatest films of all time.
Fuck yeah. We are doing origin stories, and this was important to you. I know your family owned a video store when you were younger, but of all the videos across all of the genres, you chose the director of Light Blast's Warriors of the Wasteland.
Yeah. So when you asked me, why are you like this? I didn't know you were doing this series. So I was just like, oh, geez, that seems pretty harsh to ask somebody that. But then it wasn't the first time. So I actually did have just some ideas. And it was between this and a movie called 2020 Texas Gladiators, which I'm talking about with Zach on his podcast. So but this is the one that really left a huge imprint on me at I think I was around 9 when I saw it.
That seems like the right age for this movie. That's about like the intellectual level of this movie. If you haven't seen Warriors of the Wasteland, I bet people haven't. It was, what's the director's name again? Enzo
Castellari, yeah.
Castellari.
You might be confused because it's not called Warriors of the Wasteland, is it? It's like is that our American re-release title?
Yeah, it was originally made under the title The New Barbarians, and it was made by Enzo. They had done The Bronx Warriors, and then they did Escape from the Bronx kind of at the same time, and then they had a little bit of money left, and they came up with the idea for this Warriors of the Wasteland, which New Barbarians, which is basically they saw Mad Max 2 and were like, we'll do that, but they didn't have any money, and so this was the result. 3 weeks later, they went into production.
I don't think you'd know it, though. Looking at it, I'm like, they spent some money on this. They took some time and made something. I feel like the way I would describe this and Light Blast is that if you cut this down to 3 minutes, you could convince anyone that it's just the fucking raddest movie experience that'll ever be.
That's true.
It's just he has no idea how to do a plot, how to tell a story, what characters are. The things that you obviously know are important in a movie, but don't realize how important they are until they're all gone. And then you see a guy's head explode. You're like, holy shit, that was amazing.
I didn't think I was going to be the odd man out. I disagree on every level.
You think this movie had great plot and characters?
I think, yes. I think this is a genuine, unironic piece of art, and I love it. We can get into that later, after we've talked about what the movie is.
Fantastic. If you haven't guessed by now, it is post-apocalyptic. It's set in the year 2019. Mm-hmm. The title card says the nuclear holocaust is over. So this is not just post-apocalypse, it's done. We've already handled the apocalypse. This is the aftermath. The movie's in no rush to get started. It says here in my notes that it's about 4 minutes in before anyone says anything to anybody about anything. And it's not like there's a lot of sets to really explore. It's just they went to some shitty area of Italy and just walk down the crappy road with the camera for a bit.
Oh, I'm familiar with this location. This is a quarry. They've
Yep.
This is if you don't have money and you want to make a Mad Max ripoff, go to the quarry.
And they do constantly because there's not like
That's a lot of
plot
quarry.
for this movie. They just are like quarry, and then they show something else, and then they're like, let's drive back into that quarry.
Let's get back in that quarry. We got to get back in that quarry.
I was like, are they driving in the same cliff? And I'm like, why am I calling it a cliff? That's so obviously a quarry. They just keep driving cars into that quarry wall.
It's the same wall. It's like my favorite character in this movie, and I do think there are some great characters. It's the wall. It's the quarry wall.
When I say characters, I think the movie does have good characters. They've got Fabio Hair, Nick Offerman. They've got Human Bad Gremlin. They've got Mohawk General Zod. They've got White Hot Lady. They got Black Hot Lady.
That's all of them. That's all you need.
They got Pro Bowl defensive back Fred Williamson. I checked Fred Williamson's IMDb. I really like Fred Williamson. 127 acting roles. 124 of which I'm allowed to say as a white man.
Yeah, do you want to read the first 10 years of his career?
Nope.
The characters that he played? Real quick, while we're recording, do you want to read those?
No, he also wrote and directed a lot. Jamie, we're going to have to cut all this. He made a lot of films in Italy, like 20 of them, and they're so bad, like really hard to get through, but they're kind of funny to watch because it's just a lot of Italian pedestrians staring right into the camera or like right at the gigantic famous American football star. And nothing happens in any of them. It really is, I think, Fred Williamson just like on vacation. It's like, just film me for 4 hours. We'll chop it into something.
The star level is like remarkably different, though. Like every minute he's on camera, you're like, why are the other people allowed on camera? This should just be the Fred Williamson show. And they seem to know it. Like,
agree.
He'll say something and then they'll take a minute to be like, wow, Fred Williamson. Oh, it's my line. Okay.
Dirk, you want to try to describe his outfit?
Okay, so he has a gold nipple on his shoulder, and it's
Hell yeah.
the rest of it's leather, some of it's pleated leather. It's very low in the chest region because you got to see full sternum. And there's some netting, and he has a tiny little band around the top of his head.
Yep.
It's very confusing that he's not the main hero of the film. Every time he shows up, Broccoli's completely right. You forget all about Giancarlo Prete, who's the lead of the film.
I didn't even have that in my notes. Didn't even know that was a guy. In my notes, he's bowling ball haircut.
That's fair.
He's got kind of a sexy, slutty Canadian trapper outfit. The main guy, not Fred
Okay.
Williamson.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's just not enough. It's not enough for what I'm assuming Fred Williamson showed up to set in and was like, I'm in Italy. This is how you guys dress, right? And they were like, yeah, we're water park samurai. That's correct.
I feel like Dirk failed to mention the codpiece.
Oh, sorry.
And maybe you're being respectful to Mr. Williamson's groin, but fantastic codpiece. He also has like a big plastic infinity gauntlet on that holds like tiny micro grenades. It kind of looks very plasticky, like he's wearing the new Barbarians Junior playset. Which I love so hard. He looks like, in my notes, I think I narrowed it down to this. He looks like the 15th coolest guy in the band Cameo, which is pretty high praise.
That's good.
All right, I figured he looks like the final challenge in a TV series called Is It Fred Williamson or Is It Cake?
Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
Everything on him looks edible.
I would eat most of it. Yeah, the codpiece first.
Maybe I'm podcasting horny. I don't know.
Jamie, leave it in. I want Fred to know.
There's a commentary on the Blu-ray, of course, and Enzo loves to say that they made this before Rambo shot explosive arrows, and so they're pretty sure that he got it from this.
First ones to think of it.
Fucking love that. I fucking love that because so much of this movie is like how a 9-year-old would play. And so like it would be totally normal for me like, my gauntlet has grenades and also my arrows have grenades and my car has grenades and drill and crawl blade, rockets.
That's really how they made it too. They they had their ideas, they sold the premise of the film, so then they went to make the movie after like 3 weeks just welding shit to cars, and then they just each day were like, what about this, and in the commentary every time it shows Scorpion's pistol he goes, it's a toy I bought. And it's just the most endearing thing.
Yep. Yeah, that's Han Solo's DL-44. The tone is off. Like, we're talking about like it fucking rules, but it doesn't rule for a long time because the beginning, it's real sad apocalypse stuff. It's a bunch of like struggling survivors huddled around a radio, and they're like, oh, wow, someone else might be alive out there. And then some lady goes, oh, God, if only everything could go back to the way it was. And that's your first clue that a lot of these people might be speaking English phonetically.
Yeah. So when I was a kid, I didn't know that this wasn't an American film. And so I just thought that this was the greatest acting I'd ever seen. But before we even get to the acting, I just wanted to mention, after we see the quick 2-second where they drop the bomb on the city and we see the nuclear fallout happening in a tiny, tiny little screen, the camera pans across the landscape and there's some dead astronauts, one of which has see-through cone boobs.
Hell yeah.
Everything's see-through cones.
Thank you for bringing that up.
See-through cones and domes is like the aesthetic of this movie.
What else would an Italian astronaut wear? Seriously, picture in your head an Italian astronaut wearing something different. Ridiculous.
All right. Yeah,
now, you said this doesn't kick ass for a long time. I feel like within the first couple of minutes, for sure, everything is lasers. Literally everything starts making a laser sound. And I was like, oh, this kicks ass.
Maybe I was exaggerating 40 minutes because the first thing that happens takes a while. But when it does, you're like, oh, fuck yes. Because a bunch of Road Warrior guys pull up to them and they look so cool. They look like they're filming a Billy Ocean video. And they just, like, they're in the white disco suits and they have like Cybertruck dune buggies. They all have laser pistols and they like surround the nerds and like they're just driving their cars around them with no care in the world. The survivors have laser assault rifles and they do shoot a dune buggy, but the rest of them are just like, yeah, that's probably the only one they'll get. And they were right.
The outfits on the bad guys they're called Templars, the Templar gang that show up all of course in dune buggies. Every single one of them is driving dune buggies or like dirt bikes. So they're awesome and not like post-apocalyptic. They're very shiny. They're very fancy. They're very Italian. And they show up and they're like so immaculately groomed. And like
yes.
all of the survivors down there are just miserable and filthy and like in rags, and then these guys show up like the apocalypse never happened. It looks like they're in
they look so good.
It looks like they're in Spaceballs uniforms, every single one of them.
That's a good way to describe it. Yeah, like the things are a little too puffy, way too clean.
Yeah, huge like round things in places that you're like, that's not like cool or intimidating. That's just weird that you're doing that, but it rules. And then they go down and they just start fucking ramping over where it's not necessarily that they're like trying to attack them. They're just there to do cool tricks. And if shit happens to explode, I mean, that's unfortunate.
Yeah. And their cars have like flamethrowers, rocket launchers, a spear, a spinning blade that extends off the side.
Yep,
like
everything.
As a kid, I was like, this is the coolest thing I've ever seen.
I want all those toys.
Fuck yeah. Yeah. Everything is like kid coded to be the coolest thing ever. Like the biker does light a grenade. And he doesn't have a laser grenade. It's like a super low tech like pipe bomb that he builds. And he like, yeah, it's got a full on like cowboy fuse. He jumps over the little encampment and drops the grenade, kills a food truck, nothing else. It's so fucking great.
Let me be clear. If you're a post-apocalyptic survivor just like struggling to stay alive and you make a little circle encampment to like fend off raiders, and you know that out there in the wasteland are raiders that exclusively ride dune buggies and dirt bikes and love to do jumps, and you set up a series of jumps all the way around your encampment, because like it's not like they're not jumping off of dunes to go on this. There are ramps coming down from every single car to the outside.
Your ramp
for no reason. And all the dune buggies are like, well, we gotta do that, right? There's like 16 ramps here. Like I hate to be victim blaming, but they are asking for it.
It's their fault. I think you don't even need an apocalypse. I think if you build a ramp next to your food truck, you will know that's how you will die.
Yeah, that food truck's going to explode.
Yeah, this is how I will one day die. This is a mistake to build this. This would be like level 1 of a laser tag tutorial. Like they just drive right up to these idiots and they're like, shoot us, shoot us, shoot us. They gave him plenty of chances. And when they fucked it up, they're like, all right, let's kill him. And they killed him so cool. The main guy has a harpoon on the front of his car and a flamethrower. So he'll use the harpoon to like pull off the weak point of the enemy vehicle and then use the flamethrower to like roast it. He kills the guy with the flamethrower in this scene because he like chases him down in the dune buggy and he like trips and falls and he gives a little smirk like, dude, I did not think I'd get the flamethrower human, but like since you fell down, and he roasts him. Fantastic.
Yeah, this was going to be a harpoon kill, but while we're here, a little something for me.
I always wanted to try this. Mohawk General Zzone kills a guy with his Kroll blade, the spinning blades coming off the side of his car. And they did it practical, exactly like you think they did. Someone built a real dune buggy with a blade and drove past a mannequin and lopped the fucking head off with it. It's awesome.
And the mannequin is designed to dry hump the ground once the head's cut off.
They put pneumatics in it.
It's so cool. And that dude, Mako, named after a shark, his hair is a fin, and his beard is shaped like teeth. Like
my hair is like a shark's fin.
His whole head is like a shark's fin.
It's so crazy. No one else has these weird styles, and they're just like, this is Shark Man. And you're like, what? Okay.
I should point out that everything, including the flamethrower, makes a laser noise, and the blades. The blades also make laser noises. Everything is like... Yeah, and the cars make laser noises. Everything is a laser noise. It's fucking fantastic.
The same movie every third grader wrote and continues to write every recess. They find a book, and this is just out of nowhere. They find a book, they're like, books! That's what started the whole apocalypse. And he tears it in half like a fucking Christian strongman. And I would think this makes them less cool. Like they're like bad guys from a local library meeting or GOP lawmakers. I'm like, these guys were so fucking cool a second ago. But luckily they never revisit the books thing.
They're bad guys from a scholastic reading campaign. I'm both like glad and sad that they dropped that because it would have been much funnier if they were just against books the whole time. But then that's Equilibrium. That's Kurt Wimmer's Equilibrium.
Yeah, that's just Equilibrium. I might have mentioned there's no character or plot, but like there is kind of a power struggle where Fabio or Nick Offerman goes up to human bad gremlin. He's like, I want to be the next king. And then he's like, the king of the desert. This world is dead. So like these guys are just full nihilists. They just want to kill all humans.
Yep.
They're a death cult. They're just your classic Italian death cult.
Yeah, a very well-groomed, very, very clean death cult. There's also crazies. We're introduced very, very briefly to the crazies, which are like ape-like garbage mummies.
Yeah, I wrote junkyard mummies.
Yeah. Also, there's a moment here I really like where Fabio Nick Offerman says, I heard him on the radio. They think there's still civilization out there. And I don't think the filmmakers intended this, but it is kind of an artistic way to say hope is contagious. But what I think actually happened was the plot needed someone to look for these other people and realize they just killed all the characters who heard them on the radio. And so they're like, fuck, oh, we'll just have this guy overhear it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. The crazy scene is pretty good because they're hopping around playing in the trash and it's just really aimless. Like a guy will pick up and examine the same piece of aluminum siding 5 times. It's just all these guys doing idle background action, but nothing else to look at. So we're just forced to see these guys do like this performance art. I guess it's like if you're playing Street Fighter and they just took out the Street Fighters and you're just watching a guy in the background like pump his arm over and over. Like that's what they do. And they just linger on these guys doing that for fucking, I don't know, 3 hours? Too long.
Okay, that's a lot of my childhood was doing exactly that. Go like drink, vomit guy.
Yeah.
And then we see his car. The hero drives in, and I was like, as a child, I was like, this is the coolest car. It's got a crazy skull on the front, a light up dome. They love light up domes in this. I don't know what purpose any of them serve.
I thought it meant he was a cop at first, and then I was like, no, some other cars have domes. Brockway, do you recognize this car? This feels like a car you would drive. Do you recognize the make and model of this car?
No, I didn't. But also, my eyes are extremely bad today. So most of this was, I mean, some of it's like 1980s low res blur, and some of it's also my eyes are bad today. It was just kind of a smear of shapes and colors for me, but I loved them.
Well, I'm happy to describe it. It's a 1967 Pontiac Firebird with a bunch of sweet pipes on the side, skull on the front, like Dirk said, the pop-o-matic bubble on the top, like Dirk also described, but it glows green. It's got 2 rocket turbo boosters on the back, also a rocket in the trunk. I think it's everything, right? And our guy, I called him bowling ball haircut, but he's kind of a Han Solo and a Luke Skywalker.
He drives the car that Homer Simpson designed.
Yes, he's driving a muscle Homer Simpson. He just massacres all the mummies. He's just like,
so cool.
He's not worried about them at all. And also, I don't think we see them again in the movie. Like, this was it.
Yeah.
He killed the entire population of crazy.
Just like books.
So they wanted to do this Mad Max 2 ripoff, but they also are still influenced by like the spaghetti Western stuff. So there's weird like Western flourishes in this post-apocalyptic thing, which I really liked as a kid, including like a standoff at the end, which some people say it looks like nothing's happening, but I think he was going for tension there.
Yes, he was. I guess there's something I want to talk about here. There does seem to be unspoken rules and play. Like when a guy's on foot, the guys in the car are no longer allowed to shoot them with car guns. And now they have to run them down and hit them with car melee weapons. And it's just sort of an unspoken rule they all live by. Oftentimes they'll have a guy at gunpoint that they went there to kill and told them they're going to kill. And they're like, yeah, but like, you need to like do something first, right? Like I can't just kill you.
Think of how much effort it was to put all of those, put the Kroll blade and the harpoon and shit on the cars. And you never really get to use it unless you make space in your life to use it. You have to like prioritize that. And so that comes out like, all right, this guy got out of his car for some reason. I'm going to see if the Kroll blade works. Like I just, when else? I can't use it in the car chase. I never use it in the car chase, but maybe it works.
The whole movie feels like that, like over-leveled characters like doing a dungeon they've done 1,000 times.
Exactly.
They're just like, I'm gonna try to fucking get all Crowblade kills this run through.
And the fight choreography is a lot like that too, where he'll jump and then like, I'm gonna hit this guy with my shoulder. I didn't do anything. I don't know. What if it was cool?
The shoulder build sucks. I'm respecking.
Yeah, I'm respecking back into Crowblade.
I did like in this scene where he comes across a survivor before he kills all the junkyard mummies. And the survivor is like, what's the point of life? And then after he kills all the mummies, he's like, do me too. And our hero just kills a guy in a car.
Yes. Such a bummer. This guy's such a bummer. It's like, who did this? He's like, doesn't really fucking matter, man. Everything sucks. It's like, all right. Kill these mummies and execute you.
And then you do like the to establish the hardness of your character's life, you do the like long pan out shot where he slowly raises the gun and fires it, only it makes a laser sound effect.
Yep.
The last thing that guy hears is pew! Like, all right. A little of the dignity is out of that scene.
If they added a fart sound, it wouldn't be sillier.
No.
So the next day, our guy pulls up to a food truck in his Firebird, and he's getting menaced by a slingshot sniper who's like, these things are hitting like bullets. And he gets pinned down. He's watching for movement. It is like a standoff so much better than Hurt Locker or Enemy at the Gates. Like, this is the sniper showdown of all cinema. He shoots like an exploding laser into the sniper's position, and it was just like a little kid, and they were doing this for fun. They know each other. They just show up and have like lethal sniper showdowns.
So he shot the kid was up on top of a hill, like hiding behind a bush, and he shot the bush and it caused a massive, massive explosion. And then he just hears, like, you watch from his point of view, you watch the hill but don't see anything because the action's happening on the other side of the hill. You just hear a person rolling down the hill for like 5.5 minutes. It's just, and the camera slowly tracks this person, but they're not on film, so you could just hear them like eating shit all the way down. And then at the very, very end, a child rolls out the bottom, and it's so goddamn funny.
Yes.
It is.
It's Giovanni
Just murders a
Frezza
child.
This kid, and he was in Fulci's, I think it was House by the Cemetery. And he's like a legendary character because of how poorly they dubbed him in that movie. But in this one, I was like, oh, this is, when I was a kid, I was like, this is my character. I'm going to be this cool mechanic kid who eventually is just so fine with murder. It's very unnerving.
Yep.
But yeah, he's a wild card.
Weirdly capable child.
Yeah.
Dubbed by a different person every single scene, or at least doing a different accent. The craziest accent.
That's true.
It's always a different voice, and it feels like it's not even. It feels like they're doing goofy voices on purpose too. Like he's got a bit of an Arnold Schwarzenegger the first time. Later, he's going to be like from Brooklyn. Like they're just goofing.
But yeah, he fixes up the car. He finds a human ear in the engine. That's kind of fun. And then it's just nothing really ever makes sense again in the movie. Like we're just cutting from shit. Like. Kid's doing some sweet donuts to show that he fixed the car. We cut to the Templars chasing down a van. We don't know who these people are. There is the scene I was trying to describe earlier where he hits the back of the van with the harpoon, pulls off a little piece of aluminum siding, and then fills the entire van with flamethrower, which just fucking rules. A hot lady and Leather Daddy jump out, and Leather Daddy gets cornered against the... I think this is the first quarry wall kill. He gets cornered and harpooned. But the lady, of course, they net for sex crime purposes. Brockway, you want to try to describe her outfit? Were your eyes working well enough to make this out?
I think she's just got kind of a jazzercise, like a post-apocalyptic jazzercise. Like, they probably still have to have jazzercise in the post-apocalypse. Like, it's going to smell bad, but it's still a little sexy.
I found this really sexy. It was like a leotard and goggles, but also stripper boots. So there's just like a little stripe of nudity around her pelvis. And I was like, that's weirdly naughty. But our hero shows up and he shoots the ropes. They're dragging her by the net, and he shoots the ropes. And they introduce his arrival with this insane glitchy cut of like a skull hood ornament, like popping in for like 3 frames with music stings. It's so weird. It's such a strange filmmaking choice. I don't know if I've ever seen this anywhere else. They have a car showdown with the lady standing right in the center, and I think they're going to play a game of chicken. So she gets out of the way. And again, like nothing quite makes sense. You're like, what are the rules here? Like what they're clearly gentleman rules, but I don't know what they are. It's the other guy pulls his car into the middle of the colliding cars.
Mako's going to raise his cannon like he's going to shoot. And
right.
And then Shadow intervenes, and he's like, he tells Mako, "Don't make a move, or he'll rip you to pieces." And you're like, "Wait, why? You're talking about Scorpion? He's half asleep over there in that car." Like, but anyway,
right.
That's what happened.
Bowling ball haircut is named Scorpion. I'm sorry for the listeners.
Oh yeah, they all have names, and probably I'm the only person that knows them.
Shadow. Is Shadow the Nick Offerman?
That's Fabio Nick Offerman. Yeah, yeah.
On
That's
Mako.
Shadow.
Mako is he the gremlin?
And Human Bad Gremlin
Purple
is
hair
named
guy.
One.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's George Eastman from Anthropomorphos Sagas.
Anthropomorphos
Everyone knows that one.
Yeah, no, I'm kidding. He's one of my favorite actors. He was in a bunch of things like Iron Master and things like that. But he was also in Anthropomorphagus. I can never say it right.
It's fucking crazy that they want us. And this is early enough in the movie that you're like, okay, so this Scorpion guy, like that we've just met, he's like an incredible badass. I mean, they haven't set that up yet. He did kill all those trashmen, but they were trashmen. They were covered in toilet paper and shaking aluminum siding at him. Like, they were no threat.
Yeah.
You're like, all right, give him space. They're going to use the rest of the movie to show us how completely badass this guy is, right? Because they tell us up front, right here. God, Mako, I know we just saw you kill a bunch of guys with your fucking sweet Kroll Blade car. You don't stand a chance. You don't stand a fucking chance against this guy in the Muscle Homer. Like, he's gonna take you apart. And you're like, all right, I can't wait to see, how dangerous this fella's gonna be. Just keep that in mind.
Yeah, it's a very tell don't show filmmaking process.
I can't wait for them to show me.
The bad guys leave, but they leave the woman, and so Scorpion is like, "Get in my car," and she's like, "Okay," and he puts on like the music crystal. He's got like a music cube crystal just for some tunes, and they drive off. It's the best. There's a line here you probably noticed where they cut back to the bad guys, and some guy shows like, "You flipped Mako. I would," and then they just left this huge flubbed line in the movie. And then he kind of just gives up, like he knows they're going to cut, but then they just keep going. I tried to find out who this actor was. I was like, this has got to be like his nephew or something.
Actually, the director is like, I think it's his nephew is Mako.
Oh, well, Mako rules. That's
This
just
is
lucky.
like
That's
I think the only movie he did. So at least with them. So
good nepotism.
yeah, I agree.
I wonder how long he kept that haircut after the movie. I feel like that if you tried that, because it's a braided ponytail, big mohawk, shark teeth beard.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like you found your look.
He's also got like a bit of a George Harrison kind of shag going. He's got like 5 haircuts on one head. It's great.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
It must take him 6 hours to get ready in the morning.
Yeah.
Right. There's some downsides. You can't go out in the rain. Larger sharks will try to eat you. So it's a lot of weird, boring stuff happening and that don't make a lot of sense. Fred Williamson's driving around. We don't know who he is yet. Back in the car, Scorpion tells the lady, he's like, "You women are getting rare." And then he rips her shirt off. So she has every reason to believe like, oh, God damn it, another one of these sex crime guys. But no, he's actually trying to check her shoulder. He just didn't want to say like, "Hey, let me check out your shoulder."
He still doesn't ask for consent. Like even if it's like addressing a wound, which is the excuse, he reaches over and just like rips her shirt off and like starts pawing at the wound, and she's like, "Ow, ow, ow." Also, don't rape me. And he's like, "Psh, I was just here to check the wound." Like, yeah, maybe that's how it wound up.
Yeah. Anyway, she's kind of into it. So they hold hands. And then it cuts to them at camp. Sort of implies they had sex, but Fred Williamson is watching them in his headband and riding gloves, which definitely implies they had sex.
If you watch the YouTube version, there's a little bit missing from this scene because they do have sex in the light up sex tent that they have for just this one scene. Yeah.
Oh,
hell yeah.
All right.
There's also some side nipple that's cut out of the YouTube version as well.
God damn it.
That's some bullshit. Why'd you send us the fucking bullshit version?
It's the only version online. I don't know.
Podcast over. I'm fucking mad at you. We're fighting next time I see you.
This changes Fred Williamson's entire arc now that I know he saw that.
Oh, yeah. He saw it all.
There's another scene. God, it just happens. He just like cuts to the next day and the bad guys are throwing a car mine onto Scorpion's door and he ejects the door at them so it blows up on them. And I was like, this is a fucking child's idea of like a thing a car could do. I love it so hard.
I want to give him credit because it could be one of those like Batman utility belt kind of thing. Like, you have to have a fucking shark repellent on your belt. But like they establish a few times prior to this, he has this huge joystick with cool buttons on it. And all he uses it for several times before in the movie is to open the doors of his car. There are buttons on the joystick that open the... So he's got like a mostly door-based build. So I will allow that he has a door eject button.
Absolutely. You gotta hold down the button to shoot the door off. You tap it to open it. He fucks it up all the time. It's really bad interface. God, there's a car fight. They're shooting cannons at him. Scorpion gets like out of his car. He jumps over a laser grenade. He explodes a dude's chest, and then he gets hit by another grenade. So since he doesn't have a gun, now they have to run him over. So everyone stops shooting at him, and Mako's gonna kill him with a crow blade on his car. But Fred is on the cliff with a bow. I'm gonna try to describe this. The film doesn't explain it any better than I will. The arrow hits the ground and explodes. It kind of doesn't do anything, but it does give Scorpion a chance to jump into a pothole. And then Mako's like, oh, hey, where'd that guy I'm chasing go? And then he crawls out of the pothole and onto the car. He kicks off the crow blade silently. This is a stealth kick. So Mako still doesn't know there's a dude climbing around on his dune buggy, kicking chunks off it.
Crow blade makes a very sad laser sound as it dies.
Yep.
It's true. No. They do some car wrestling, some car kicking. The car's going in a big circle while he has Mako like out the side, just punching the shit out of him. And he finally fully shoves the guy under his own car. They just mangle the hell out of a mannequin.
What I found very interesting was that the stunt performers, at least, which this is Italy, so there might not be any.
Yeah, they're all deceased.
The car is actively driving. It's driving around in a circle because both of them are fighting all over it, like on top of it. And like this is a kind of a big stunt with a lot of like moving parts that can go wrong. So it's interesting that they didn't choreograph a single second of it. That they just like started filming a car moving. We're like, I don't know, just brawl. And so these guys were like,
yeah.
At one point, Scorpion crawled up onto the roof and then rolled over on his back.
Yeah.
And just got punched in the back. And you're like, what was that? What was that move?
It's a miracle Scorpion has lived this long. Because, like, his whole plan is, like, I've got this rad car with all these weapons. He immediately gets out, starts running, and then looks shocked that he's just running out in the open. And it's like, what are you doing? And then when Fred Williamson shoots the arrow that it's supposed to, I think, explode the ground, and then he jumps in the hole, I think is the story they're trying to tell. But they couldn't blow up a hole in the ground.
Didn't even come close to showing that.
No, the camera's, like, at a weird angle, and Scorpion dives, and it's very bizarre. But he looks panicked the entire time and loses his gun like 7 times or something. Like, it's hilarious.
There's like, so this is what I was saying. This is the first scene. This is the first action scene we see immediately after they're like, are you kidding me? You're gonna go up against Scorpion? Do you know what he's gonna fucking do to you? And then the first action scene we see is he pulls his car over in the middle of a car fight, gets out and starts running around, gets immediately blown up. Like, his plan was nothing. He gets immediately blown up. He gets up, he does shoot a guy, and it's a fucking sweet-ass dummy explosion. Yeah. And then he starts running around again and gets blown up again, and then he almost gets crawled to death, and then he crawls on this guy's car and tries to fight him with his back. And you're like, this is the most embarrassing thing you could possibly do after somebody's like, that guy's gonna fucking take you apart.
Yeah.
And you're like, I'm going to try it. And then he just rolls around on the ground like a big baby. What is this? I thought you were going to be tough.
It's the best. There's another great mannequin headshot here where Fred Williamson headshots a mannequin with a exploding bow.
Dummy work is so good.
Yeah, so many dummies lost their lives here in the Italian desert.
Here in this quarry.
In this beautiful quarry. It goes back to this guy who can't act, the one I mentioned earlier. And Scorpion says something completely awesome. He says, take him back to 1. If he sent him, this is my answer. If he didn't, this is my warning. And the guy just stares at him. He might not speak English or he might have missed his cue by 5 minutes. Both are equally likely, but like he just like lets him have this moment and we cut away.
Next, we get the funeral. We get Mako's funeral where he's nude but in a cod piece.
Yeah.
And then there's a great thing in here where it's a tracking shot where it shows all the cars and dudes on one side of this scene, and then it pans, and then there's a pole that kind of breaks the shot up, and then pans, finishing the rest of the shot with more cars and guys. But it's the same cars and guys from the other side. They just cut it and then reset the people on the other side, and they don't even try to hide it. It's just clearly the same people. I love it so much.
And you can't help but notice that they linger on these shots so long.
Yes.
This establishes something very important here. And this is the first time I really realized, like, this is what they were going for. And, like, we realized that the Templars, this Italian death cult out here, and that's all they do. They want to kill they talk about it all the time. They want to kill every person left alive. And that's it. That's their whole goal. They don't have anything else. All of them, every single one, are men. There's no women there. They are all hunks. They're all very attractive Italian men. Immaculately groomed and often nude, as we see here. For his funeral, he has to be stripped nude and laid out on some crystal in front of all of his boys. And you're like, all right, well, now that we've established that, that's a little weird. I wonder what they're going to do with that.
Yeah. And strangely enough, that might be the only thing that has any kind of foreshadowing or payoff.
But you would never believe this is the thing that was foreshadowing, because this is just how it was in the 80s. You were like, he didn't think about how this looks. Like, he put all of this together and he's like, nobody's going to think about how it looks. I was so surprised. I don't want to spoil it when we get to it, but so surprised that he did think about how that looks.
He did. We're like, oh, they just don't know the line between macho and gay. It's like, no, he knew.
He's super familiar. He lives on that line.
Just to reiterate for people that maybe missed the beginning, 9-year-old me's favorite movie.
That's going to raise some questions in a little bit.
Yeah, I know.
Mm-hmm.
Right now it makes sense, but in a little bit, we're going to have to talk about some things.
Yeah, codpiece funeral, it makes sense, but later on, we'll see how it pans out.
That's what I want, guys.
Codpiece funeral.
Oh, you think you get away without one?
Thank you. Thank you for saying that. I want you to drape me in wax paper, light me on fire while you torture my closest friend next to me. The guy who can't act. I want you to ask him to really put on a performance. God, this is so funny. He's like, no, what? Don't do it, please. Like, he's beyond his acting capabilities. I love it. So one vows vengeance on Scorpion, and he's not going to let anybody else kill him. I guess this is kind of a lowering of stakes. It's like, oh, the bad guys are going to kill Scorpion, but now we find out, like, no, like, they have to kill him in a very specific way. He'll probably be fine.
So they go see the survivors.
Yes. They're going to have a standoff, right? They pull up and like these like missionary people in a caravan are like going to kill them. And they don't. And then Fred Williamson goes, they believe in something called God. And I'm like, the fucking world blew up 9 years ago. Like, Fred Williamson forgot who God was after 9 years.
I thought he was going to say books.
Yeah.
What's a book, brother?
They believe in something called reading, power of imagination.
Also, the caravan people are listening to the radio, and they're like, oh, someone's 10 miles away. And so they're like, wow, civilization's still here? It's like, I'm finding this very frustrating because there are people fucking everywhere. Like, your people, you right now. And like one quarry over is a whole bunch of fucking guys.
All these quarries are full. There's one that's just full of mannequins, but the rest are people.
So there's a sexy Christian lady that comes up to meet Fred Williamson, the hot black lady I mentioned earlier. And she's in like a star bikini. And Fred Williamson's immediately like, hell yeah. But not like, oh, hey, I'm going to go meet this girl and seduce her. Like, she is like an out of work sex slave. I'm not even kidding here. She just like takes Fred Williamson to the immaculate fuck hut and like lays down and prepares for sex. I don't think there's ever been a female character so one-dimensionally written to look hot and get fucked. It is peak Italian cinema.
He says, like, are you ready? And she's like, hold on, I'll get ready. And then she just lays down and stares at him.
Yeah,
He's like, I'm almost ready. And he's like, okay.
It's already like lingerie. Like, you're not going to like need to get undressed. She does kind of dump exposition, but doesn't seem to know what she's talking about. Like, she talks like a malfunctioning robot, sort of giving her backstory, and it just cuts away while Fred climbs on top of her. He's like, okay, you're done. You're done explaining your deal. Yeah, you're an out-of-work sex slave. Well, I can fix that. But yeah, the beautiful silk sheets, there's white carpet on the walls. The whole sequence ends with Scorpion coming in and being like, hey, I'm going to go kill the bad guys. And Fred's like, well, I'm in the fuck tent. Go away. And then Scorpion like won't leave.
Yes.
And so Fred Williamson's like, bye, twice.
Because Scorpion was clearly, the way he's playing it and the way the exchange is, and he says like, all right, well, I'll join you later. Bye. And then he stands there. Scorpion stands there looking at like, he's making real hard eye contact with the lady. And then with Fred Williamson goes, bye. And then he still doesn't go. He still just stays there. Like, he is waiting for an invite.
Yeah. He's like, when are we doing this?
Yeah.
I thought we were making an Italian movie.
In a way that seems like, it seems familiar. Like, we've done this before, my dude. What's the big deal? It's like, not this time. I'm not into it.
Yeah, when I was a kid, I thought, oh, he wants Fred Williamson to like go with him on this adventure. But the rest of the film, he's always like, get away. Like, he's shooing Fred Williamson away.
You're right. Their whole dynamic is Fred Williamson's like, how come you never ask me for help? I clearly save your life all the time.
Yes.
And Scorpion's like, shut up. I don't need you. That, like, they have that conversation probably 4 times. It's like, I don't get it. I don't get why these Christian missionaries have a perfectly upkept sex tent when a sex slave they don't use.
I think that's hers. I think that's that's like her equipment. If you buy her figure, she comes with Fuck Hut. But then like, there's a whole, she's supposed to be with the Bartertown set, and you just got them mixed up. You got them mixed up with the Christian play set, with your weird Christian friends play set. And now she's all out of place.
9 years later at a garage sale, you find just the Fuck Hut toy, and you're like, what did this go to? Like,
well, I know where He-Man's going. He-Man's going right in the fuck tent.
That's not for sale. Let me get that. That wasn't supposed to be in the yard sale. A whole convoy is coming after Scorpion. Like, his plan does not go well to just drive around and wait for the bad guys to kill him.
Yep. They
pull up. There's a whole bunch of them. He opens his trunk and shoots his trunk missile. It kills the El Camino. It never had a chance. I think this is a practical choice in an apocalypse, but it's the first thing everybody shoots. So it's the only kill he gets. He kills the El Camino. The rest of them basically drive him onto this other road by the quarry.
Got to get back to that quarry.
Yeah. They blow up his car. Well, he gets out of the car and they just blow it up. And then it just cuts to him tied up. This is the thing that was foreshadowed.
He's not just tied up. There's a ceremonial piece, much like the Fuck Hut comes with the one woman character.
Yeah.
This one comes with one. One comes complete with ceremonial sex stockade. Yeah. It's made out of like clear crystal or like plastic. And it's got like an elaborate system of pulleys that they have clearly used many, 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 many times before. And it has one function. And that is Scorpion is tied up hanging by his arms like a normal thing would be. And then the pulleys run to the ground and then they come back up and over a bar. And then Shadow? Is it Shadow that's Nick Offerman?
Yeah, Shadow. Yeah.
Okay, Nick Offerman comes up and and he grabs the bar and he's ready to do something. You don't know what he's going to do yet because one is behind him and one raises the clear ceremonial dagger as though this is going to be a satanic sacrificial rite because they are a death cult.
It's more like a Peabody Award.
It's definitely an award for like second place architecture or something.
Yeah.
And then he brings the dagger down in such a way that only explodes the ass of Scorpion's pants off of him. Clean off. Not a rip. It explodes the entire ass off.
It is such a celebration of Dom energy. They're just letting it build. They're like, oh, we're going to fuck. But in a long time, I got to crank this neck down. We got to blast your pants off with our second place architecture award.
Okay, that's when Shadow starts pulling the bar. He starts doing a curl.
Yeah.
He's doing a curl with the bar, and what that curl does is force Scorpion over into the bent over rape position. And that's what this whole thing is for. The whole like ritual is for gay forced sex, and they do. You're like, oh, who's gonna save him? Right? Nader's gonna come in, and he's like, no. We're gonna cut to like a Duran Duran video, to like a Kajagoogoo video, but in a way that it's very clear this is a Kajagoogoo video about future rape.
Yes, it is. They penetrate him to the custom electronic apocalypse rape soundtrack. I would complain a lot about the editing of this movie, but it is. There are so many thousands of cuts taking place here.
Yeah.
They spent all of their post-production time on this 1-minute rape scene that is baffling.
I think it's great. It shows you nothing.
Right?
But you know exactly what's happening, but you can also kind of dance to it.
Yeah, you're right.
You can't say that about a lot of rapes.
So you can just imagine me as a kid and someone being like, did you see, like, you know, when Hulk Hogan bounced back in that match where he got hit in the face and he shook his head and he said no, and then he conquered the obstacles, and I'm like, that's easy to come back from. You should see what Scorpion went through. I mean,
yeah, what did...
You're right.
I want to know,
Hogan.
Did 9-year-old Dirk understand the Kajagoogoo video about future rape?
I didn't quite get it. I think the first watches, I was confused because I thought they were going to stab him, and then when his ass was exposed, I was like, that's crazy. So I thought that they were just humiliating him. I just didn't know to the degree.
Okay.
That then when I was, you know, a little older, I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that this is in this movie that I've been telling people to watch.
See, I think that's intentional. They wanted this they wanted this to be, in theory, a child-friendly anal rape scene.
Well, and I should say, like, the reason I call it Warriors of the Wasteland and not New Barbarians is because when it was released here, obviously they changed the name, but the box we had, if you look up the artwork for it, it was like this puffy case VHS, and it has like the heroes standing, and they have this cool pose, and the little kid with the slingshot. So I was like, this is a kid's movie, and so I was watching it, and then now in hindsight, I'm like, oh my gosh, there's some stuff in here that is not for children at all, and part of it involves our hero. And when you watch the Blu-ray with the commentary, like nobody else has ever done, Enzo is talking about how they did this, but it was very tasteful. It's very, very tastefully done.
I don't know if I disagree with that. Like, I feel like...
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, because it cuts away.
The tone of it is a Duran Duran video. Like, it's not like sometimes you see a scene like this in a movie and you're like, ugh, this is really sadistic, and they're lingering on this. Like, what's wrong with the filmmaker that they wanted to make this? Whereas this is kind of like, he just wanted to stick to the script. He's like, well, the script calls for it, but it doesn't say anything about not turning it into a Kajagoogoo video.
The only thing that really sells it and told me, like, as a child that something bad was happening is it's the only time that Scorpion really emotes in the film is once he's, like, bent over and one thrusts behind him and it starts cutting to strobe lights and stuff, but it shows his face and his eyes are bulging, and I was like, oh, God.
It's the only time he's happy. It gets interrupted. It's like this ritual thing, but somebody like drives up. They're like, hey, boss, stop the sexual assault. We found like a caravan miles away. It's been there for weeks. We've seen him 1,000,000 times. Like, anyway, no need to rush. Sex crime over, guys. But like, let's go. The movie it was already like on thin ice, but it is just fucking broken at this point. They leave 3 doofuses there to kill him. And this is weird because they've had several scenes talking about how important it is to kill him in exactly the right way. And then that got interrupted, and they're like, all right, fine, just kill him off camera later, you 3 doofuses. I just wanted to have sex with him for like 40 seconds or so. However he dies now is not important. I guess that's how it is sometimes. Sometimes you just like bang one out to realize you're not meant for each other. And I think that's what happened here.
This whole time there's like an implied history between them. Every time his second in command, every time somebody talks to one, the bad gremlin, about Scorpion, he's like, no, you leave him alone, or I forgave him, or they were together at one point, whether that was, you know, as partners or as partners, is left up to debate. But there's clearly like this whole history that's built into them the whole time. And so like, you're wondering where this is going to go. And I think that culminates in this sexual assault scene where one is like, oh, okay, well, I guess I'm not that into you. Like, I really thought I was.
Yeah.
for a long time.
What's really interesting too is you kind of get the idea that, okay, maybe all of the Templars are gay, but our hero, Scorpion, was a Templar. He was in there, so he knows what.
They say, okay. They say, I think a little later. I think it's either we skipped over it or it happens a little later. They do imply that was the initiation, that whole rape machine.
Oh, wow.
I do curls and it facilitates rape. Was the initiation to get into the Templars. And then later on, I think Fred Williamson is the one that calls them all queers. So like everybody else knew this. The movie has been playing coy with it the whole time.
I thought that was just strange writing, but you're right. Like that was just some homophobic shit.
He's actually this is an all gay death cult.
But he was in it.
And he was in it. He was a member.
So weird.
And he tried to leave, and they didn't like it.
That's probably why he left, because he's not a gay man. He immediately had sex with that lady after.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about that.
Okay.
Oh.
Oh, no.
Not right now. We'll get through the rest of the movie.
Okay. We'll keep moving. The three doofuses are dragging him behind a dune buggy. Fred Williamson shows up, kills them all with exploding arrows.
Yes.
It's fucking awesome. More mannequins get their heads popped off.
I can't look at my computer right now, but like, if anybody can look up how to say the quarry of exploded mannequins in Italian, I bet it's beautiful.
Cava di Manacini Esplosi.
Oh God, that's fucking hot. I love it.
You're right. That's fucking beautiful. They take him back to the kid to fix Scorpion's car, which exploded. Like, it's not something you take to the mechanic. And Fred he can't like move. He's like been so beat up. But Fred is like spritzing him with activator. He's like got his chest open. He's just kind of spritzing him. And I guess this was meant to be like future medicine or something, but it is pretty clearly a hair product. They talk twice more about how like, I don't need your help. And Fred's like, dude, you are literally dying. If I wasn't spritzing you with this, you would be dead. The caravan gets massacred off screen because Fred was busy complaining. So now we have, not all of them get killed. So they pull up a bunch of these Christians up against the wall that get executed. Scorpion they decided to do a training montage here.
It's so crazy. It's so crazy.
It really is.
Remember to the start of this movie where they're like, are you going to go up against Scorpion? He's going to fucking take you apart. He's the craziest dude in the entire Wasteland. Now at the end of the movie, he has to do a training montage. Because all you've watched him do is get blown up everywhere he goes.
Fred calls him a coward, which is I'm like, he's a fucking freelance laser madman. He's not a coward. He can't fight for shit, but like...
It's braver that he knows. He can't fight for shit, and he's still being a freelance laser man.
He's just slow to pull his gun out of the holster, and Fred's just yelling at him. I like...
Yeah, do it faster.
Do it faster.
It's so crazy.
He screams, try harder at one point, which I thought was really funny. I just was going to mention how the kid, like, tells Fred Williamson to start throwing grenades at him. He, like, pulls this window closed. He's like, check this out. This window's grenade-proof. And Fred's like, all right, I'll throw grenades at the fucking kid. And that's just they just fade out on it, implying that they just did that all day.
No. Something else important.
Okay.
He also deploys a drill, a very long steel drill, and this, like, plastic that resists all explosives, and he's like, ha, this is what I have for you.
It's awesome.
Those are going to be the Scorpion's secret weapons, are the armor, the transparent armor, and the giant drill.
Yes.
Yep.
And then we see one who is just hanging out in a super cool dome room, just listening to spoken word poetry.
Yeah. Why aren't books okay if spoken word poetry is okay? He's so mad at books, but like then he goes over and then listens to a fucking podcast or whatever. Like, come on, man.
He's listening to this poem, and Shadow comes in, and he's like, "Get out of here! I need to listen to this poem some more." And he starts it over, and it's just like, "Why?"
Skip my favorite part of the poem.
He goes up to the Christians they have lined up against the wall, and he starts lecturing them that all hope is dead. And then his other big moment is ruined. Somebody pulls up and like, "Hey, dude, the bad guy's coming." And he screams, "It's against the rules to interrupt me." We're like, no,
it's against the rules.
You were like balls deep in your mortal enemy and they interrupted you. People just interrupt you whenever they want.
It's really funny to say something's against the rules to your gay post-apocalyptic death cult. Does nobody respect the rules?
Now it's like a child's idea of a fight scene because it's just all the bad guys are in one section and they just keep getting killed by Fred Williamson and the boy with the slingshot. And they all die confused. They have no idea what's going on. Scorpion makes super cool entrance in the smoke.
Oh my God.
This is it. This is the spaghetti western standoff.
Because he's even got the poncho. He's covered in the Clint Eastwood poncho, and they're gonna do the duel, which I found funny because they start off and they're staring. One and Scorpion are staring at each other across like this burning battlefield, and then one kind of quick draws his pistol at Scorpion and then looks at him for a moment, and then puts it back. And so they're gonna do the gunslinger duel. No, you just did, and he lost.
You did. You won.
Yeah. Scorpion lost that one.
He's like, okay, that one didn't count. Start over. Again, I do not know the fucking rules of engagement in this wasteland. Yeah, sometimes I get it. Sometimes it feels like everything's broken. But anyway, Scorpion creeps behind some stuff, which to me feels like a rule violation. He gets shot in the cloak, and it reveals that he is wearing transparent, sexy plexiglass armor.
That's what he did. When the boy came out and he had a perfectly flat, I want to be clear, a flat plane of this explosive-proof plastic. And you're like, oh, okay, that's going in the car. That's because this is a car movie. Like, this is a, car fighting movie in the post-apocalypse. So that's going to be all of his windows. And no, what Scorpion did is like, can you reforge that into glamorous, sculpted, extremely bulbous armor so that I can wear it and be completely nude underneath it so that they can see my flesh through the armor all the time. And I don't have to wear these damn clothes anymore. Can you do that for me, very small child?
I love that it's not a sandwich board, which would make more sense to cover your legs as well. But it's just these like bulbous round spheres over his torso. It just makes me so happy.
He looks like Heidi Klum on Halloween.
It's supposed to mirror the Templar armor. It's the same shape. He's got the huge shoulder pads and the weird bulbous tits and like the sort of lobster-like abdomen pieces. But this is like, glorious see-through Templar armor. This is the problem with your armor, is that it's you never know if you're nude or not underneath it. You want people to know.
I wonder if one saw that and was like, damn it, wait, yes. Like he's just...
You're back in. Sorry about the misunderstanding earlier. He gets distracted from the duel because Fabio Hare, Nick Offerman, says, you're just trying to be cool, but you suck, Scorpion. I can't remember what he says.
Pretty much, basically.
And then he's like, I'm going to kill these hostages if you don't throw down your gun and give up. And then he does. He kills 3 hostages, and it just didn't work. He's creeping up. He's like, all right, I better creep up there real slowly while he's executing all these hostages. And then Scorpion just shoots his face off. There's no other way to describe it. He just walks up, shoots his face off through some trash. That's it. That's their showdown.
Thinking the whole time, thank God there were those hostages there to distract him. Let me line up for that shot. Never would have got that shot if not.
And meanwhile, also, like, Fred and the kid are just, like, casually massacring people. Like, Fred no-look grenade kills a guy that's stalking him.
Yeah,
they have no chance.
They're doing fucking stunts. The kid, and, like, up to this point, the kid, like, they had that little sniper battle, but you're like, he's like, training. Because at the end of that sniper battle that they had at the start, he was like, well, I'm never going to be like you, Scorpion, but one day I'll be tough. And then he comes to this, like, final battle scene, and he kills like 80 men with a slingshot. And you're just like, that's way more than Scorpion ever did in this entire movie.
Absolutely.
Just stunting on him.
There's a part where he kills someone that was gonna shoot Fred Williamson. And Fred like looks at the kid and they like exchange glances like, that wasn't cool. And I was like, wait, why does Fred have beef with all these people? Or they have problems with him? I don't understand.
Okay, so now like the bad guy leaves. And so Scorpion chases him. And now it's like this souped up rocket Pontiac Firebird versus just a garbage dune buggy. So you're like, okay, well, this should be easy. You're kind of not going to believe this when I describe it. But our hero just kind of drives up behind the bad guy in his much faster car and drills through him, kind of in a mirroring of the earlier scene.
Hold on. Kind of?
Yeah.
No, he activates the drill that the boy gave him, which is his new super weapon. And it drills in through the back of the car all the way forward to where one is sitting in his little go-kart seat. And it specifically shows you that where it's going in through the seat is the ass part. And then they even show you one's face as he makes what can only be a, oh no, now I'm the one being drilled in the ass face as he dies.
Okay, you're right. I said kind of because I don't think the filmmaker caught the connection.
I absolutely do.
I think I think it was a pure coincidence that he killed this man in this way.
They introduced the weapon. This is the only thing that weapon has ever done. It exists for one reason, and it is to drill a man in the ass who likes to drill other men in the ass.
Agreed.
So my question is, did Scorpion tell Baby Mechanic to make that because Baby Mechanic knew what happened to Scorpion? Because that's even more problematic.
No, they were both surprised. So I think the little boy was just like, you need a big dick weapon. Like, you're not doing great out in the wasteland. Like, I thought you were super cool because of our sniper battles, but then, like, I heard about how you just roll around and get exploded all day out there. Maybe the big dick weapon will give you some confidence.
My point is it was too poetic for such an artless filmmaker. That's
I don't think anything in this is artless.
It was intentional, unfortunately.
Okay. 2 votes against that's fine. I'll admit I could be wrong here.
I'm just going with what Enzo said.
That's right. You watched the comment. You know his intent.
Yeah.
So he said, yeah, in this scene, I really wanted to do the reverse rape with the super drill from the little boy. Let's see. When I say it all out loud like that, I sounded crazy.
Okay.
The only thing I want to say before you finish about the movie is that it does end with the mechanic child holding Scorpion's hand like he's his child. And I find that so disturbing.
Well, okay. It ends. He goes back to, he's killed one. He goes back to the Christians. And the woman there is telling him, like, you have to believe in something. You have to hope. You have to come with us. And he's like, okay, I've got my kick-ass armor now. I've killed one. We're all going to go find this signal. And he gets together with the woman that he's been dancing around with the whole movie. And then the little boy comes up and holds his hand, and they look off towards, like, the future. And Scorpion gets this, maybe it's just because he can't act, but he gets this really confused look on his face, like, yeah, I don't know what the fuck we're doing. And then the movie ends.
Yeah.
I know why he did this, because right before that, the beautiful idiot sex slave comes up, and the bad guys missed her when they were taking all the hostages. They, like, missed the beautiful idiot sex slave and the sparkly rainbow romper. And so she's like, hi, I'm still alive. Want to go have sex with me, Fred Williamson? And so Fred Williamson leaves to have sex with her. And then the little boy comes up, and Scorpion's like, wait, how did I get such a crappy, I get this fucking little, wait, no.
I was supposed to get Fred Williamson at the end. It was supposed to be me in the romper. That's how it ends. I think this movie was very intentional about its messaging. And I think, to me, it came through very clear, at least by the end. And we see, it takes place in a world where there are essentially 2 main sects that we're concerned with. All the rest are kind of thrown by the wayside. But there's this Christian sect. They still believe in God. They're the only other, there's, like, way more of them than there are any other people out there. And then there's the gay death cult. They only believe in death. They, like, frequently, when asked why, like, Scorpion is not a member of them anymore, he says, like, I believe in life. I choose life. I want to survive. I want to live. And they only believe in death. And, like, that's the difference between us over and over again. And I think that's, like, a very Catholic way of looking at gays in the 80s. And they're a death cult. They don't even want children. Like, they're just having sex for fun. They're not breeding. They're not procreating.
It's a Jack Chick tract.
Yeah, it's very much like this Catholic, like, view of the 2 sides. And here's the side that chooses life. Here's the side that chooses death. And they're gay. Gay sex is death and all that. And he used to be. Then we understand Scorpion used to be with them. He used to be a gay man in the terms of the metaphor. And he left. And that's what's infuriating to them, is he left and he chose life. And eventually he understands that to choose life is to choose, God and Christ and Catholicism and all of that. And he's got this relationship with Fred Williamson the whole time. And they're like, you just have to ask for my help. Why do you keep rejecting me? And he's got that weird moment with them in bed where he's like, are you going to invite me into it? Fred Williamson is like, bye. And they're, like, exploring this relationship as he's going through it the whole time. And then he goes and he gets captured and he gets sexually assaulted by one. And he realizes, like, that's his moment of gay acceptance, because then he puts on all nude, transparent body armor that makes him invincible now that he's accepted who he is.
It's fabulous.
It's the armor. It's all nude.
You know what? I'm convinced this is not an artless movie at all. I just missed the message because I'm such an ass-crushing straight guy.
I'm not done. He's got the all-nude body armor of gay acceptance now, and he's like, I know who I am. I'm still gonna go drill one in the ass until he dies, because that was still rape, and like I understood who I was because of it, but that doesn't make it okay, obviously.
Right.
And then
of course.
But then at the end, he goes back and he talks to the women one more time, and they're like, no, you have to choose life. You have to come with us. And so that's what his look is at the end, is he's staring off and going like, but I'm wearing the armor of all nude gay acceptance. Like, I just went through this whole arc to like become okay with who I am this whole movie. Like, I started off a gay man, I denied it, I came back, and now like I'm here, I'm fucking fabulous, I'm cut, look at me. And they're like, no, you're Christian, we're gonna go ahead. Here's a child. And he's like, fucking what? What do I do? And that's because that's what this movie's saying. This movie is saying conversion therapy doesn't work.
Einstein, 100, Frankfurt. Einstein, 100, Frankfurt. Unser Podcast genau. Und mit maximalen Schau. Dogg Frankfurt Podcast. Korrekt. Ja. Der Kraft ist nicht gratis, nicht ohne. Schick die in die Hundezone. 4 eine Stunde.